Ready for round two.
All right, you know what?
That song is long.
It's like a minute. We need to. I can
I mean, I
can
like
cut
it.
it
It's dope. I
down.
do. I love it actually because it's basically The Price is Right, isn't it?
No, of course it's not copyright.
I mean, no, you're right. Yeah, it's Let's Make a Deal. I think. Shit, I don't know.
How you doing today, Dave?
Man, I am doing all right. I can't focus, but I'm doing all right.
Why can't you focus?
Too many things, man. Too
All
many things.
good?
Oh, it's all good. I mean, but there's you ever have one of those days where literally every 20 minutes somebody's asking for something.
Yeah, it's usually when I turn off my email.
It's like, hey, can I get that? Can I get that logo? Hey, can I get that background? Hey, can I get that? Can I get that graphic? And it's usually from somebody asking that knows how to make the thing they're asking for. You know what I mean? Like,
Uh,
man, like I know you know Illustrator. I know you can drop this in this shape and do it. I know you can do this.
yeah, I mean, or like you set it up. I think we've had this discussion before where you set up something specifically so someone can edit
Right,
it.
right, right. Like, you go out of your way to create it in a platform in a situation where they can handle it, and they keep hitting you up anyway.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. So
Yeah.
how do you deal with the balance in your day? Like I know I get in this habit of not answering emails because I will block time out and make sure that I don't answer emails while I'm trying to get work done. What about you?
I'm actually the exact opposite. I have three Gmail accounts open and a chat open that I feel like I have to monitor all day long.
Yeah, that would give me a heart attack.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm constantly monitoring those things because um, maybe it's just the nature of the clients I've got right now, but it feels like I need to be able to answer people pretty quickly because people ask urgent questions.
Well, the more we answer them quickly, the more they're going to expect you to answer them quickly.
Sure, but that doesn't solve the immediate problem of the question they ask needs to be answered.
Man, clients always got immediate problems.
Yep.
Yup.
Yep. But I mean, it's I can see the light at the end of it.
It makes it sound like you really love what you do when you say stuff like that.
I like, I do, I do. Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
All
think I
right.
do.
Well, for one, we wanted to welcome everybody, the multitude of people who are showing up to listen to and watch this podcast, and we also wanted to let you know. Oh, someone says, "Yo, I have a question." In case no one submitted through the official channels, it's coming up as a Facebook user. We don't know who it is. You ready? Or you want to talk first and then take it?
Go ahead.
They got to submit the question. Yeah. So the person who has a question, feel free. Um, you can just go ahead and ask it. It'll pop up over here, and we'll take care of it. So, Dave, what was your day like today? What projects have you been working on?
Let's see. I sent final logo files to uh, Heidi Brooks, who has a learning based podcast. I sent, what else did I do? Um, I designed a website or I put the finishing touches on a website for a studio, recording studio in Austin,
Ooh,
Texas called Space. Um, I, oh my God, what else did I do? Oh, I created social media graphics for the bar in Chicago, Park Manor 75.
okay.
Um, and man, and their brand guideline is dope.
Oh,
Yeah, their brand guideline looks great. I finished up the brand guideline for Rising. Um, and I put in an interesting request. We created some icons for them, and they wanted an afro. So I had to. So that's the one thing I haven't finished yet is I need to find an icon, create an icon for an afro. The weird, the strange things you get, the strange little asks you get throughout the day.
an icon for an afro. Describe what that looks like.
Oh, well, actually, they didn't say afro was the first thing they said. They wanted to look ethnic. You know how generic
Oh,
icons can look.
yeah.
So I've got to find a way to make something look ethnic without being offensive.
Are you tired of using things like the afro for blackness?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try um, braids. Maybe
Braids. Okay. All right.
I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but yeah. So yeah, I
Well,
had a
so
full day. I had a full day.
yeah, I had a full day too. Um, doing primarily, I've been deeply into emails these days, signing emails in different campaigns. So today was campaign manager and Mailchimp trying to get our email finalized and out the gate, which we did, and I'm so happy about that. And for another client, I've been managing their emails, and then I have another client for like White Lodging, and we've been managing their emails too. So it's just been one of those days.
Man, I don't. Yeah, I see those. I see those emails coming through like that. I guess that's a good problem to have, where I know you're working on stuff, but there's so much stuff to do that I don't see it,
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, no, there's
which
a
is
ton.
actually kind of cool that there's enough going on that you don't know what I'm doing, I don't know what you're doing, but stuff's getting done.
Yeah, yep.
Are we saving files in a place? Are you still saving files at Lucid on Lucid?
Yeah, I am saving this in Lucid Link, which is my preference to Google Drive because we can all work on all the files at the same time, and it has a check-in and check-out system, which I think works better. And they need to pay us for that plug. Okay, so first question: how do you two deal with clients who want to art direct or over art direct everything, and then in the same breath say, "But I want you to give me your expertise as a designer."
Oh, that's infuriating. Oh my god, when somebody says you're the expert, and then every other word out of their mouth is what? Well, can we do this? I want you to do that. Can we use this font? Oh, I don't know. You're the expert. Like, okay, so we're gonna be on the
Yeah.
news tonight.
Yeah. I think that goes back to a conversation we had earlier about their people and clients who can live with a final output when it's really serving their target audience, and those clients who just want to see what they want to see because they think it's right. And I mean, when people are over art directing, especially when they're not turning back to the target audience to understand if it resonates with them, then unfortunately that's kind of like a bad client. And I still have some clients like that. They drive me crazy, but at some point in time, I realized that it's going to be what this client wants, and I shouldn't invest anything into it. And I need to decide down the road if it's a relationship I want or not. What about you,
Right.
Dan?
Let's. How about we change the vocabulary on that though,
Okay.
because like semantics, because they're not over art directing. They're not art directing. They're not art directors. So so let's say making stupid suggestions.
Micromanaging
Let's call it what it is.
visuals.
Backseat driving, whatever you want to call it, like they're not art directing.
Yeah. Armchair quarterbacking.
They're something.
Whether should we should have a better artistic creative name for that since it happens so often.
Yeah, but I mean, backseat driving is perfect. The euphemism already exists.
True, true, true. Yeah. So that's
You know what
how
happened to me today, actually.
really.
So there's a client who I had this person talked into the font treatment for their logo. They chose their icon. I've been doing this a lot lately, where I'm making final design moves on a Zoom screen while the client's watching. I've done that I've done that 2 or 3 times in the last month, and
Yeah,
it's
but
kind of an insane thing to do, but I did it.
no, I don't think it's
So
insane.
so I'm making these movements. I'm even showing them how I create the symmetrical math between where the fonts are lined up and all that stuff, and they looked at it, they said, "Yes, I like it." I said, "Okay, let me tweak it." I sent it over to them this morning, and they picked the other one.
Oh, yeah, that happens.
And I was like, "All right, can't save everybody." I didn't even argue. I just sent them the logo. I was like, "There you
Yeah,
go."
but I think it's a matter of deciding what type of relationship you're going to have with your client, especially in a collaborative environment. If it is set up where it's like, hey, we're going to work on this together, then you have committed to a contract where, they're going to give you your opinion and you're just going to like move things around. And I've had very successful relationships like that. However, I'm not going to say the design is successful, but that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. The icon is successful, but the type treatment is not, the thing that got sent over today. And
Yeah.
it's unfortunate, but I mean they spent all day talking about how they didn't like the font that they wind up choosing
Hmm,
today. They
gotcha.
kept saying, "Yeah, I don't like that one. Let's use this one. Yes, I think you're right. I absolutely agree. Yes, let's do that." And then today, like it was like they were in a time machine or something. I don't know. I don't know.
Gotcha. Chastney says, "Hey fam, hey, how you doing?" And I would say we need to get to some topics that can help. Well, I guess that is a topic that can help. That's something that somebody asked.
Right, and I think it's something we've said before, and it's cliche to say it, but it's kind of true. Is that you just can't. You've got to pick your battle.
Yeah,
The budget wasn't that high.
but the
Um,
client was.
yeah. So I didn't feel like this. It was okay what they picked. It won't go on my portfolio, or maybe it'll go on my portfolio with the font I chose. That's another thing to talk about. I've got some logos in my portfolio that it's what the client should have chosen, not what the client actually chose.
I think we all have those things in our portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to encourage people not to be discouraged by that and to keep it. And I know that you are always telling people about logos that you can use later on once you develop and have a library that you can turn back to. Right. What I wanted to know, Dave, is how do you categorize that library of logos that didn't make it?
Well, I know a lot of people call them orphans. A lot of people. Uh, there's actually a lot of resources out there where you could sell your logos,
Mm,
your orphaned logos on those creative marketplace or whatever, that kind of thing. I don't know how much you would get for it or whatever. I'm
mm,
assuming that it's up there forever and tons of people can just go buy it.
wow.
Um, I just keep a library of graphics that they kind of stay in my brain anyway. So like when I'm walking through something or I'm reading a brief, sometimes I'll just remember, oh, I've got that concentric circle logo.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And like, oh yeah, I've got that thing. I've got that star logo that didn't work out for the one thing that might work for this. Like that's how it happened. So working with Gabby knocked it out of the park. We were working for a client, and um, she created she created four logos, and the client chose one of them, but two of them could be ready to, could be ready to go for something else because
Yeah,
they're loose enough to fit other ideas, but they're strong enough to be able to put a metaphor of either communication, movement, growth, all those things, community, all those sort of buzzwords could be tied to the other logos she created. So I told her like you got three portfolio pieces out of this one.
yeah.
I mean, I like to think it was my creative direction, like my guidance. It was like what's the word I'm looking for? Jedi? Is it Jedi? Do I want to say Jedi?
It should probably be something that's close to mansplaining. Maybe it rhymes. I don't know. All right. So let's talk a little bit about either one, um, showing them some of the logos that you're talking about so they can see the work, or we need to talk about the things that are happening this month with AAGD in terms of events.
Um Yeah, let me see if this sharing thing's gonna let me do this real quick. If it doesn't work, we'll just jump right into the newsletter.
Yeah. Now keep in mind this is audio, so you might have to be very descriptive for the people who can't see.
Oh, wait a minute. There are people who can't see?
Well, I mean, this is a podcast too, right?
Oh. I did
Well,
I
let me.
was thinking I was kind of imagining like when we did it last week and it was
No.
on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's being broadcast now on like YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook, so they
Oh,
can't see it. Just roll, and we'll edit if we need to.
okay, so we're about to infuriate a huge section of our audience right now.
No, not really, because all of our audience right now they are watching us.
So
Podcast can be visual. Yep, yep.
can you see my screen?
I can see your screen.
Can or cannot?
I cannot. Let me see. Do I need to do something?
What about now?
Ooh, I see it. Yep, there. Bang.
All right. All right, here were some. This is how we started off, like showing some images that conjured up some of the ideas. Um, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're
All
good.
right, cool. So,
You're
we,
frozen, but you're good.
yeah, you're frozen too. That's why I was wondering. So does
Huh.
that mean the screen is frozen too?
Oh, now it's cleared up. No, it looks good now.
Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, let's just run through these real quick. So that was one idea. All about, I should say, the project was all about communication, community, growth, an ongoing journey that like learning is never finished, that sort of thing. And then we would show social media, what it's going to look like in Spotify. Another idea.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down, my friend. Go back one. I didn't see the podcast. It just went by so fast. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Gotcha.
so that's a good. So one of the things we did, I literally searched learning through experience on Spotify so I could see what their competition would look like.
Mm-hmm.
So during the presentation, we were showing them this is what your episode thumbnail will look like up against your competition.
Gotcha.
And it was all about making sure that it was interesting, but also more importantly, instantly legible. Because junk like
Yeah.
this, like when you look at that right there, do you see my cursor?
That's hot garbage.
I don't know what the hell that is. Like,
Neither
would
do
you
I.
even click that?
No.
And
I
look at this
wouldn't even.
murky. Look at this murky mess right here.
And then let's go back. Solfeggio and the C's. That has to, what is that about? Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry. Go
it's
ahead.
ridiculous. All right, real quick.
Okay.
Again,
Yes. Continue.
convergent circles. Again, conversation, community, blah blah blah.
Whoa.
Because I want to do it quick.
You don't have to do it quick.
I'm
You
just
don't
running.
have to. You don't have to do it quick, man. It is. We're only showing a presentation. They can't even see us. All the beautiful work is showing, and that's it.
Okay, cool. Again, so basically, what you're gonna see as we step through this is gonna be idea, um, what it looks like on the phone, and what it looks like on Spotify. And the one of the things I told the client was, you're gonna see a lot of ideas, but really you're only gonna see four ideas. We're showing you a lot of stuff, but as far as I was concerned, this idea is the same as this idea. It's about convergent ripples, right? Like that's all it is. So it's not like I'm showing you nine different concepts. We really only showed like three and a half when you think about it.
Mm.
And we just didn't have time because they were in such a hurry. This happens a lot where they're in such a hurry. It's almost too risky to just show them one and try it that way. Like I needed to hammer home some of these ideas quickly, and it was actually a pretty effective. Again, same idea, just a different style on the same idea. And they're labeled ripple concepts, so when they have them on their own, they can settle down and focus and understand, oh, this is just another option of the same idea.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
I want to get to the winner.
The winner. Okay. Yeah. 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 Please do.
This was almost the winner. So like I said, Gabby's just dope. I don't know if she knows she's dope, but she's dope.
She has to know she's dope.
Um, but it's funny. Like we had to tweak the type a little bit. So looking through some of the work she was doing, like I'm a call her out, but it'll wind up being a compliment. So the the font on some of the logo ideas, some of the type structures were a little haphazard. And then when I looked at some stuff she was doing for like social media posts, the typography was perfect.
Uh
So I was
huh.
like, well, wait a minute, you're capable of that. What's happening over here? And it's interesting that she was getting hung up on the type relationship with the icon when it just should have just been a block of type. Like just treat it like a block.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
we settled we got it settled in, settled down. So this was one idea that made it to the second round. I really dug it because it was so amorphous and it didn't look like anything that you would see anywhere. Like have you seen anything like that for a logo?
No, no, that's really
And it
cool.
was really cool because it came out of a conversation. It was just like we spoke a couple of days before the presentation and we talked about how could be a metaphor for sound waves, could be a metaphor for moving water, could be a metaphor for amorphous people moving through
Yeah,
the.
right.
So it's all those things. They didn't pick it, but that's a thing that can be in her logo.
Our portfolio. Yeah.
This is the winner. This is the one where imagine. I think I showed it to you in a way that so this obviously it looks like a slice of a gigantic circle, community circle.
Hmm.
And we're actually going to build these out all the way around. So we'll have four different options for this that can be in their logo family. So that's gonna be cool. Um, and I love that it's a path that looks like several different journeys. And the way the client read it was each circular motion was a different person on a different level of their pathway to learning and their pathway to growth.
Ah, okay.
So, and it was exactly what we talked about, which the reason the client loved it was exactly what the client told us in the original meeting. So she loved the idea that we were parroting her words back to her during the presentation.
Yeah, that's how you. That's how you. That's how you sell a client, man.
Yeah, we actually listened to you. We used her
Yeah,
exact phrases and her
yeah.
exact words right back at her.
Ooh, that was really good. Wait, go back to the screen before. I really like that one on the left side. That's really cool.
Yeah, those colors pop. They
Yeah.
had a pretty dingy color palette, and we added the green, the yellow, and the orange to their color palette. Their original color palette was almost all blue and green,
Okay.
so that we added some love to it, a little bit of warmth. And then that one didn't make it. I had high hopes for the
Hmm.
Vitruvian Man, but we couldn't make it work.
Gotcha.
Um,
I'm kind of glad it didn't. I didn't say that out loud.
you know what? Let's just leave it on screen. I'm not gonna stop
Oh
sharing.
no, no! I watched it. There you go.
I'm
I
not
turned
gonna
it
stop
off.
sharing. I'm
No,
gonna leave it on.
yeah,
I'm gonna leave it on there.
yeah.
No, but that's it. So yeah, let's go back to the winner real quick. I think that I just think that that's a really solid idea, and I like it when doing a collaboration. I can remember Gabby and I talking about this. You know what I mean? And it like when you have a conversation about an idea and then you see it actually created, and then you present it to the client and they pick it. That's just a great feeling to go from conversation to second conversation to actually showing the logo and the client digs it and then boom, we're all good.
Okay.
That was that's the winner. I'll stop sharing now.
How many? Oh no, 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 no. We got a question. We got a question. Do you see the question?
Yeah, how many did we present? Well,
Mm-hmm.
let's go through. Again, to me, we presented a ripple concept, so one ripple concept. We presented an infinity set of ideas, so that's two concepts. We presented amorphous movement is what I called it. I couldn't think of anything else to call it, so that's what I called it. Amorphous movement. That was the third concept we showed them, and then there was movement from center, which to me also could have been convergent ripples. Also, like that's kind of the same premise of convergent and exvergent circles. So it was all the same thing. So we showed them the way I see it in my brain, three and a half concepts.
In his brain. And then here's the other question: what was the timeline for the project?
Timeline was like a week and a half. So
Where?
from the client meeting to Gabby and I's meeting to
Oh,
showing, it was like less than 10 business days, I feel like.
yeah. Y'all kind of knocked that out.
Yeah. So how do I get out of this? Oh, there we go.
Okay. Well, you got out of it. Look.
Cool.
Boom. Wait, there's not a third person. Ooh, picture in picture. Oh,
What are you doing?
cinema. Oh,
Oh, this is perfect
oh.
insight into
The brain of
Terrence's brain, the brain of Terrence Moline.
it is it's sporadic as hell. Okay, let's go. Sharing screen. Let's talk about. Oh, that's right. No, I can't. I gotta go. Boop.
Yeah,
Is sharing.
this newsletter looks dope.
I was pretty happy with it for a change. So, let's talk about some of the things that are happening. So, as much as I didn't want to get anything wrong, I put the podcast was on May 5th. Today is not the fifth day; it's the fourth,
Nope,
and
it was not.
we're doing the podcast. But anyway, we are experimenting with this idea of having a podcast and office hours because we find that a lot of our conversations really boil down to helping one person at a time. And so, if y'all want to call in anytime and leave a message on that line, I guess I should post this again on the threads. Y'all can get the link. Yeah, leave us a question and we'll answer it on the show. If you want to join us, please do. There's no such thing as a dumb question.
Yeah, there
No,
is.
there is. But we won't let those questions get asked on like live. So you don't have to worry about that. We'll vet it.
But you might get called out.
You might get called out. Yeah. So you want to explain to the viewers what reblacktions is and how that came about?
So Reblaxes was something I didn't think you were actually really going to do. I was just playing around.
Of course,
So
I was going to do it.
basically, it is we are going to treat movie night like reaction videos that I'm sure a lot of people have seen on YouTube, where people watch a movie, TV show, whatever, and react to it. But we were just making jokes like, "What can we call it?" And I said Reblaxtions. So that's how we wound up there. So I mean, that's how we kind of came up with the name. But essentially, it's going to be kind of like a movie night, kind of,
Hmm.
where we will. But then we started expanding it. So Now, beyond reacting to movies, we might react to a portfolio, or
Yeah.
to we might react to a new logo design. We might like hop over to brand new and look at a new logo and just rip it apart in during the podcast. So I think that's going to be fun because it's going to offer some insight into um we'll start talking about type. Probably we'll start talking about typefaces. We'll start talking about colors. We'll talk about space and pacing. So it's going to be, yeah, we might be, you know, criticizing something and tearing it down or maybe lifting it up, whatever, but that's going to be fun to get into who's got an opinion on it, who likes it and why, and then you have to explain yourself, and then you have to explain why you don't like it. And I think that's going to be great practice for presenting your ideas and selling
Yeah.
your ideas, and more importantly, defending your ideas. Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's literally you have to defend your idea to a client. So I think that reacting to work in a group and getting into arguments about it is going to be a positive thing.
It's healthy. It's totally healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have game night with some games that are new. So the brief, looking at a design brief and everybody weighing in on how they would go about charging, because everybody always wants to know about pricing. I think one of the things that would help us grow as a community is being more transparent about how much we charge and about the process we engage to figure that out. The 15-minute quick sketch. A lot of times, as you heard, Dave and I are under the gun to create things quickly. So we want people to get used to getting the first thing out in their head and then seeing how it develops and then putting that against some other people. The ultimate goal is to foster this spirit of what it's like to work together and to see how different people bring different perspectives to the problem solving. Dave, what you got? Any follow ups on that?
Say that again.
I was asking if there were any follow ups, but I'm moving to Logo Olympics now.
Go ahead.
So, can you design while an entire art group art directs? Like, so what we're going to have is somebody work on a logo, but then have all the mics on where people are trying to tell them what to do. I liken it to being in a jujitsu match where all the coaches are yelling at you and you have to try to figure out what to listen to and
If I
how to
could
do it.
choose, yeah, if we could choose our weapon, yeah,
If you can choose your weapon,
yeah.
okay, cool, cool,
Like
cool,
somebody
of
might want to
course.
be an illustrator. Somebody might want to be drawing on their iPad. Somebody might want to be drawing on an
Ooh.
actual piece of paper. Like if you can, you should be able to choose your weapon.
Can they do teams?
Sure.
Okay. Teams accepted. And then we have some other games, but we're not going to spend our time going through all of them because,
I have a game to add.
okay, what is it?
There was this website called Coodle Partners, Coudal Partners. I think they still do this. They called it Photoshop Tennis.
Oh,
And what they did was they would start off with a Photoshop file, somebody would do something to it, send it to the other person, and the person would have like 90 minutes to do something. So
yeah,
this went on all day, right? So they would send something back, or maybe it was 30 minutes. I can't remember. We could, if we did it, we could set our own times or whatever.
yeah,
We might want to set like 5 minutes to do something cool and send it back if we're going to have it
man,
live, right?
you
But
know so much.
they did something that I think it was just sort of you would check in on it throughout the day. So I think they did have a pretty substantial amount of time to do something.
Yeah,
And it was being judged and commented on as though it were a sporting event.
yeah,
So when somebody posted their version, like the commenters would go in on it as though, like there were Howard Cosell or some sort of sports announcer. Oh, he hit him with this, that kind of.
yeah.
And I think that some sort of back and forth in the chosen software might be fun.
Yeah, I know we're definitely trying to really enliven and in many ways gamify this thing of design because when Dave and I were in school, that's sort of the things that we had to do with our other peers is talk about our work, find ways to make it challenging and fun, and we want to bring that back into online communities. Um,
It might be fun to force somebody, like, don't do it to me, but it might be funny, like, what if we force somebody to only use Canva to design a logo, and
that
you've got
would
the
be
duration of the
great.
podcast. Like, here's your concept,
Right.
and
Oh,
we will see what you come up with at the end of the podcast,
we
you
need to
can
give.
only use Canva.
We can do like handicaps, except
Yeah,
I'm sure
there
we
you go.
can't call them that.
No, yeah, that would be
We'll
horrible.
call them something else. And like, oh, like we can have something in a jar and you shake it up and you're like, and you have to design this in paint.
Right, right. Or like
Yeah.
Word or something like
Oh,
that would
that'd
be
be
brutal,
awful. Yeah.
but fun. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Watching people struggle is always fun.
Yeah. Um, then we have our spotlight with some fun animations on it. And design chat, if you missed the design chat, you can catch some of them on our YouTube channel. If you're a reader, which I hope you are, please pick up Design for Identity. It is definitely worth it. It has given me new tools to help shut some foolishness down. And if you want to get on the email list and you're not there yet, just holler and let us know. We'll get you there. All right. This is the wrap up. Rapid fire. Go.
Um, were there any other? So I saw some questions that we didn't get to.
Um.
About the what type was chosen. The font that we saw
Yes.
was the font that was chosen. Um,
Yep.
if you can remember, and how many hours?
Uh huh.
I don't know.
Whoa.
It was a bunch
Mm.
because it was a hard, it was a full court press thing.
Do you think the amount that we build was comparable to the amount of time spent?
Well, I think I told you when we started the project that I wasn't billing on it,
Hmm.
and had I been billing on it, I would have done it differently
Interesting.
because I didn't have to take money out of it. I decided to do full court press. If I had to get paid for it, I probably would have done it a different way.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Gotcha.
And I also liked the idea of giving as many of Gabby's ideas a chance as possible.
Aw,
You know,
that was so nice of you.
I wanted to see those things presented. I wanted to see that stuff happen. So, um, yeah. So it was just a weird thing where not only was it in a hurry, but not only were we in a hurry, but we didn't. I didn't have to make money from it. I guess is a weird thing to think about. So, because I wasn't billing on it, I chose to do it that way.
Okay. She says, I appreciate it and hurry up and wait for our feedback. LOL. Yup. That's the life of a designer sometimes. So the Facebook user, which I think is Myra.
I know it's
Uh,
Myra. I can tell by the tone of the question.
so
It says Facebook user. What I see is just Facebook user, but the tone of how that question has been typed, I know that it's Myra. I know that it is. You ain't got to tell me it's Myra. I know it's Myra.
you can feel the energy and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
typing.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so the decision for how the type is handled.
Um, they had something that it needed to be in a brand neighborhood with something that already existed, and they had used the font Playfair, so we used the font Playfair on one of the ideas, and that just happens to be the idea they chose. I tried to kick them to something else, and it didn't play.
Yeah, that's how it rolls out sometimes.
The name was basically a sentence, and that seems. I think that that's the Dave McClinton disease. Like
That you bring everywhere you go.
I always get that. I always get logos like that. I never get the logo for some cool bar called Zoom or something that has some cool name that is really easily illustrated, I get the ridiculous 5-word logo. I get it all the time. I think I'm the only one.
Nah, can't be.
Like I don't ever get anything like Rockstar or
Park Avenue,
Park Manor
Park
75. What does
Manor.
that mean?
Oh, okay, yeah, Park Manor 75. Yeah, but it's not long.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I never get the word that almost doesn't need a logo. You know what I mean? Like the
Mm.
really cool, like the word that just conjures all sorts of images. I never get that.
Uh, some Facebook user, I'm not going to say who it is, so she's going to refer to all of the long name logo projects to you now, Dave McClinton. Yes.
Can we kick people out the group?
Well, it is 7:47, and that's the name of the chat, right? We should probably wrap it up so that we don't have to edit an hour's worth of material.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I hope everybody's excited about things like movie night, game night, reaction night, and even this new idea we're trying to figure out that we just kind of thought about right now is some sort of combination of logo Olympics and throwing it back and forth between two people,
Yeah,
maybe even a logo race between two people.
yeah.
It'd be cool. Like, start the podcast, introduce it. Here's the logo project, and it's going to be so and so against so and so. We have the podcast, and then we circle back 30 minutes later to see where they are and see who wins, and whoever does win gets something.
Versus. Leif says, "What's up?"
That would be fun. That would be fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, official sign off. Leif says hello. Hey, Leif.
What up,
We're
Leif?
about to head out. Who's down for a logo race? A
We're doing it.
Facebook user. Okay. Oh, Whitfield. Oh no, Whitfield. You have to
Oh,
be a
who said that?
judge. Dirk Whitfield.
You know what? You know what? No, let's do it.
Oh, you
It'll
wanted against him. You said let's do it. I assume that means that you wanted to get
No, no. I'm talking about you.
me. It would take both of us and one other person.
That would be hilarious. What about 5 people versus Whitfield?
And when he still wins, that would be embarrassing. We'd never live that through. He said, Leif said, we're
Like
feeling against the
John
machine
Henry.
like John Henry.
Oh, how about this though? No, no, no. But this is how we do him. We tell him he has to use word.
Oh yeah,
Because
yep.
remember, it's like it's we need to work out the rules. You either pick your own weapon, or maybe you get a weapon forced on you. Like you have to use Canva or Word or Photoshop or something like that. That can be funny. That can be really funny.
Oh yeah, 'cause they could draw. They'll sign up and then we just like shake up the
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
You'd be
yeah.
like, you got to do this in Figma. He said the logo gauntlet. I like that.
Shouldn't that be
Yeah,
Le
like
Gauntlet? I'm sorry.
LeGaunt.
I had to try it. I had
No,
to.
we're
I
not.
can't. I like plays on words. I had to try. I blame
We're
Myra.
not.
I blame Myra.
Oh, for everything.
Yeah.
All right,
All
man.
right.
So till next time, if y'all have any questions about the events, holler. We can make sure y'all get in. We'd love to see y'all contribute. Thanks for everyone who came out and saw this. Yeah, if you have any suggestions, let us know.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
Bye bye.